Hello. Let's define some more terms. Yeah, this is what this talk is about. Let's define some more terms. All right, so these are terms that privileged individuals should not be using to describe marginalized individuals. And I have a shirt for that, yeah. And if you hadn't noticed, you can buy them here, along with some other stuff. So let's talk about aggressive. I'm not aggressive. It's best if you call me assertive. That is the best thing that you need to call me. If you look at the definitions, again, we can't just start changing definitions of stuff to suit our needs. I'm not intimidating. Look at the definition of intimidating. If I did not mean to torture you or to terrorize you, then that's your shit, not mine. So you might want to call me sure and confident because I won't back down because you disagree with me. That's not happening. Defensive. I get this a lot. No, I'm not defensive because I don't even know you. I don't have that. I get that a lot on Twitter. Oh, you're being defensive. I don't fucking know you. I'm in the tub tweeting. I'm not defensive. What I'm doing is gaslighting your ass. You don't even see it. But I'm committed because I'm not giving up right now because I have an end game. You don't realize that this is a strategy for me, so I'm going to, because at some point, with enough time and enough pressure, your racist ass is going to say something. And that's all I need. That's all I need. Shut it down. They did it. I'm done. I'm not emotional. A lot of people see marginalized, we do cry, because it's frustration. Because what we really want to do is slap the fuck out of you, but we really can't. So it becomes like, Lord, please give me the strength not to knock the shit out this white person. Please, dear God, Black Jesus, thank you. So I'm passionate. I'm not angry, but I have every damn right to be angry. And so to call me angry is usually, how do I say this? This is a line, and when you call me angry, I'm really close to crossing that line to anger. And as I used to tell my students because I loved high school, I don't like babies. If you can't tell me that you got to go to the bathroom and all that, I ain't got time for that shit. But high school students, I love because I could tell them this is an artificial environment. This is not how the real world functions. And so, when they start smelling themselves and get a little cocky because you've told them that they're special, when the fuck they're not, they want to challenge the adult in the room. And I'm like, okay, this is the line. My side is the adult side, and that side is the child side. So I just want to make sure before we go here that you are aware that you're about to cross over. Because once you cross over, there's no going back. And I was known as, people would tell me, like if some student came in and tried to challenge me because they were new to my class, I would hear it, don't fuck with her, she's crazy. Just don't do it. Please shut up, leave her alone, she's crazy. Because if your parents hadn't taught you, I needed to teach you what it was like to deal with a grown-ass woman when you're a child. So I'm not angry. But I'm going to be determined to break your ass down. That's what I want you in tears. That's what it is. I need you in tears so you can recognize who I am. And that just goes for white women too. If I can make your fucking asses cry, God, I have done my damn job for the day. Because you forever using damn white tears for no reason. Give me I want to give you a reason to cry. At least there's a reason for you to shed tears. Overreactive, I very seldom overreact. I'm very even. Again, because I don't take this personally. So I'm usually justified. And the reason I brought these things up, and I'm going to have this story, and it goes back to privilege. As you know, I said that is having access. Then we talk about whiteness. And then I'm going to be really specific and talk about white women, particularly in the workplace. So when you use any of those words against a marginalized person, particularly a black woman or a black man, but usually it happens with a black woman because we just standing there, we just really want to pop you. Who saw the video the white woman got popped in her face? Woo! I felt good. I was like, that bitch got her, bam! That's what you get for fucking with other people's shit. That black woman hit her real, bam, bam, and that was it. Yeah, now that's a reason to cry, because she fucked your ass up. Yeah, that was a reason to cry, because she clocked your ass just quick. I mean, she didn't realize that was coming. She was, bam, bam. Oh, shit. That was just, I was like, oh, every black woman wants to do that. But what happens is, we're having a conversation. This is how it usually happens. We're having a conversation. And because privilege thinks that it has all the answers and it knows everything, even about my experience, it's gonna argue with me about my lived experience. And what happens is, we're going and I'm just like not backing down, because just because you have an opinion, I have an opinion, and our opinions, they match. And just because I'm not gonna change my mind. But okay, so you said that, so fucking what? I don't give a damn, because I say what I have to say. And then it's like, like, what the fuck? I ain't hit this bitch. What's she crying for? So it becomes this thing, and what it happens is, white people, it's a way to derail a conversation, because now, whatever we're talking about doesn't matter, because now we have to come to the rescue of the white chick. Because, so I've obviously done something to her, right? Instead of this being a tactic for her to get her way and never having accountability for the actions. So what happens is she goes to HR. HR just automatically takes her word for it. They don't ask me shit. They just take, and now it's written down, it's documented. So we got processes, that's documented. How am I gonna get a raise or get a promotion when that shit is in my record? Because this bitch couldn't handle her damn emotions. Because as adults, that's your responsibility, not mine. So now you're fucking with my money. And I should have popped you in your fucking eye, because at least I had a reason for that shit. This happens over and over and over again. And white women, you need to white women, you need to cut this shit out. Because it's affecting people, marginalized groups, economically. You have no right to fuck with our money because you can't handle your emotions. And this is the conversation I have. But, bitch, if you cry one damn tear, if one just rolls down your face, I got a problem. I've lost all respect for you, and we really have no conversations, because now I know I'm not safe with you. Now I know that you will do anything you can to throw me under the bus. I have a problem with that, because I'm gonna get your ass before you get me, trust me. That's what my students used to do. There could be a student, freshman year, because oh God, 14-year-olds, fuck. Again, okay, so I didn't like the babies, and I don't like freshmen and sophomores. I like juniors and seniors. Because the junior and senior, I can say, okay, motherfucker, you almost back out of here. You dumb as a damn bag of rocks. Let's get this shit together, because you're not ready for the real world. And they can get it, because they're like, I'm just trying to get you ready, because your parents have lied to you. You're not ready for the real world. But these 14-year-olds, that's why I can't do middle school, because they sniffing on each other. They smell themselves, so they want to cuss you out, and then you say something, then they go crying. Wait a minute, how do you just flip that on me? But 14-year-olds, they say something really smart. And see, I'm a person, I don't hold grudges, but my role was to teach you a lesson. So this is what all this is for me. So if they would do something I was very forgiving, because I understand the process they're learning. Got you. But if they would just really go outside of that box and just lose their fucking mind, I would say, you know what, that's fine. Because you'll need me before I need you, right? Come senior year. Whew, sister got a long memory for certain things. Can't remember a name for shit, but I can remember a situation. And it comes time for you to get recommendations for college or that scholarship or whatever. Miss Crayton, can I have a recommendation? I was like, you remember that time when you did that thing and I told you that was far out of bounds and that you would need me before I needed you? Well, I'm not gonna give you that recommendation, but this is a teachable moment. So you understand, because I want you to know why you're not getting that recommendation. Because there are consequences to behaviors. And so what you learn about that, and then no reason to get angry, because then you won't get shit else from me. But this is a reason, because your parents have not taught you consequences to behavior, but I'm gonna teach you what that is. You don't shit on people and then expect something in return. And this is what tech has been doing. It's been shitting on global populations because you don't know anything about us. You're creating products that are harming us, and then you give this empty apology like, oops, my mistake. We didn't think that people would care about us handing out their fucking data for free. Oops, only a white dude with no gives a shit about his data would think that. No parent wants to give their kids information out to some, no, that's just not normal. So I am about to, this is where, and the folks who just came in, if you haven't realized, my job is to make you uncomfortable. So you probably figured that out already. But it's about to really get uncomfortable. So I'm a researcher, and I like to, again, definitions. So when we talk about some of this shit that we see on Twitter or the news, let me explain to you what I believe in the news. World War II history is like, I am a World War II history buff, but I don't just look at it from one perspective where everybody, it's convenient for you to look at just Hitler or whatever. I look at all five. I started this in high school because my mom bought me the book, and when I told her about it, she brought me the book Machiavelli because I was very interested in the personalities of the leaders who started, because if you really think about it, this war didn't have to happen. You have Roosevelt, who was a president for 3 terms, and the fucking country didn't even know he couldn't walk. That's some arrogance right there. That is some news that was not put out there. People thought this man could walk. Then you have Hitler and Stalin, who were abused as children, so they're just fucked up in the head. They're just batshit crazy. And then you have the Emperor of Japan, who has no power. He is run by his military generals. They're doing everything, but he's the head of everything. And then you have Mussolini, who Hitler was following or emulating, who had his own issues. And then I look at all those things, and then I look at several documentaries about the different people, different perspectives, because like they think Hitler had Parkinson's. Hitler was actually on drugs, though most of the time, definitely at the end. You look at how Lenin did not want Stalin to take over, but he usurped. So I look at all these different things because I understand bias is in everything. Bias is in everything, all of our data, everything, because we are humans. We only can see from our perspective. So when I talk about research, when I see all this news or these people with these theories on Twitter or I'm like, okay, what is the validity of this? Does it make sense of what you're saying? And can it be replicated? If it can't be those things, I'm thinking, I'm calling bullshit on that. You know, that's just your opinion. And what does that mean? So this is what I'm gonna ask you, and this is why people get pissed at me, because I'll start they'll say something that seems, and I'm like, where's your data for that? And why are you assuming causation because of that? Which is, you're assuming that if I trip over that thing, it's because that thing's right there. It might not be that thing. I could be drunk. I could have an inner ear infection. You don't know why I've tripped, but you assume causality. We can't assume causality, particularly with these social issues, and we're talking about cultures and organizations. There are a lot of things that cause me to trip that have nothing to do with what happened before it. So people get really pissed at me because I just like blow their theories up. I'm like, that shit doesn't even make sense. Don't send me some damn article that's from the 60s that's been debunked. You cannot just keep holding on to this shit when the new research says that shit doesn't work anymore. Or like people like always want to, when we talk about civility, or nonviolence, they always want to bring up Martin Luther King. Okay, you can leave him back in 63 when he did the I Have a Dream speech if you want to, but 11 months before he died, he was very radical. He realized that whiteness was not what he thought it was, and this damn nonviolent shit was not gonna work, and that he was naive in believing that these measures would change white America white U.S. citizens. We have more than one America. And so we have to stop doing that. We have to start challenging people on this bullshit that they're saying. And we have assumptions. And this is just like this shit we say that has no proof. And we all have assumptions. But the problem is when we don't challenge our assumptions. Wise people challenge their assumptions. And Again, it's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. We all have assumptions. What we can't do is continue to build a society on untested, unchallenged assumptions, which is privilege. There is a thing, white people think they're smarter than I am. I can have a conversation about damn near anything, and a white person would still think, I don't know shit. That they're smarter than me, and I'm just looking at them like, what? You can't hold up your end of this fucking conversation. How the hell are you smarter than me? But that is an assumption. So I go back to validity and reliability and say, bullshit. And then we have bias. These are things that we don't know we have, but we all have them. Well, that's unconscious bias. Bias is we all have bias, and yeah, there's a whole bunch of unconscious bias. And even with that, I don't like unconscious bias training. I really don't. Research proves that shit doesn't work. What you're doing is forcing the people who really don't fucking want to be there into some shit they really don't want to hear about. And who the hell's gonna learn under that environment? So I get the Google guy, I don't even remember his damn name, because again, I told you I'm bad with names. The Google guy who got fired, yeah, I don't even fucking care. He got fired, but he got fired for the wrong, what he thinks he got fired for. No one stepped on your First Amendment right. First, let me explain this. First Amendment is your agreement with the federal government, not with a private business. So that shit didn't work in the first place. And then your dumb ass decided to say this dumb shit on Google's servers. Didn't you have a computer at the house with your own internet that you was paying for? So this document caused the CEO to come back from holiday, from on break, caused the newly hired diversity and inclusion person who was not interested, was trying to get up to speed. Now she has to focus on this. You have people in this global company who say they can't work because they're just so upset about this whole thing. So now you're fucking with my money. So this had nothing to do with your freedom of speech. This was you was a dumbass. You could have, because they told you, you had all the groups in the world inside of Google to have these conversations. You just didn't like what the hell people were telling you. You just didn't like when you said some dumb shit that everybody started challenging you, because for the first time, white dumb shit is being challenged. So that's what that was. And so that was your mistake, whatever, you fired, fuck it, move on. Let's talk about racism. Because I cannot be racist, people. I have no fucking power. I can stand up here and talk all day long, but until some white person decides to pay me, that's what the fuck's gonna happen. Till some white person decides, you know what, Kim, you're saying some shit that we need to have a conversation about, and I'm gonna bring you into my network. I'm gonna introduce you to some people. I could be on Twitter all fucking day running my mouth and nothing happens. This is why I've been very strategic in bringing white men into my network, because I want to leverage your networks. There is no reason for me to make this shit up. Why would I spend my black ass time recreating a wheel that ain't gonna work? When you know the secret doors, if it don't fucking work for you, you make a key. You just make a fucking key, you know? And I'm like, fuck, give me the key. Just make me a copy, you know? I'm like, why am I making keys? I don't know. No! I'm gonna use your fucking networks. I'm gonna use your money. I'm gonna use everything I can from the white man to make my life better. That's what I'm gonna do, and I have no problems with it. I'm telling this camera, white guilt is the best thing I've ever seen. Oh my God, I love it. I just love white guilt. I don't give a fuck how I get to point A from point B. If you need to feel guilty, bring it on, I don't care. Because I can use it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care how it gets to me, as long as I can make money. I should be making, you go to work every day and you expect a check. Why the fuck do people expect me not to get paid? Wells Fargo doesn't take that was my likes. They don't take a retweet. They don't give a shit about that. They want their mortgage payment. And so this is what this is. But going back to racism, I'm an educator, I can keep going. You saw the screen long enough. Racism requires not only race prejudice, but a system of power to be in place. I do not have a system of power. People with disabilities do not have a system of power. They may be white, but if they're being discriminated against because they have autism, they have bipolar, or they have anxiety, whatever, they are now a part of a marginalized group. So this is why most white women are not marginalized, they're just underrepresented in tech. Because most white women do not have these underlying other issues. So, again, black people can hate you because we have damn good reason to hate you. I don't. Again, because I need you. I just need to use your shit, but some of y'all, like they say, there's some good white folks out there. I wonder how many people are gonna get pissed at that line. I don't give a damn. It's so funny how they'll take something like that and then they'll start, I'm like, baby, don't play. I don't care. I really don't care. But there's some good white people out there, but please don't call yourself an ally. An ally is something you demonstrate and the title is given to you. You do not take on the title of ally. And if that's what's important to you, get the fuck out of my way because I'm running over you because you're in the way. Because that means you're not doing the work and the title means more to you, or you looking good to other people means more to you than actually getting uncomfortable and doing the work that it takes to make a better community for all of us. So this is how you determine who's read this book. So you want to talk about race. All right. Oh, so yeah, see, this is a crazy, okay, assignment. You need to read this book. You need to read The White Fragility Document. And you need to listen to Seeing White, which is a podcast series from last year from Seen on Radio. And if you DM me, I will actually somebody remind me, I will put that in a tweet for you today. Because these are things you need to know the basics. So I'm giving you this because this is something you need to share with your white friends and still tell them to stop sliding into my damn DMs. Because if you haven't done any basic work and Googled, please don't come into, first of all, don't come into my DMs because I'm going to screenshot that shit and embarrass the hell out of you. I'm just letting you know that. Don't do that because it's just going to hurt your feelings. And also, if you haven't done the basic work that you can do to Google, then I'm not doing the work for you. It's not going to happen. So how can you, simple ways to determine if something is about race? It's about race if a person of color tells you it's about race. But let me back up, because this is something that I need to say to white people here. Based on this, you are racist. That's the truth. Now, whether you act on that is a totally different thing. Now, I am black. Now, if I act in ways that would be dangerous to myself or other people, that's a whole total another thing. Not to say, okay, let me fix that, because then somebody will say, see, she said black people were crazy. No, I'm just giving you an example. Because of this definition, because of race prejudice, that this system of power, of privilege, and whiteness has put into place, and I love how white people don't like to be called white anymore. You made the fucking title. You used it to discriminate, so now you don't like it because now people calling you white? It works for you when it's benefiting you, but now there's some accountability and consequences attached to it. Oh, don't call me white. Call me pink. I don't give a fuck what you call it. This is what the hell you are. So you are racist. That is just a state of being. It's the racist behavior, which is an action, which is something different. That is, and you're, I'm gonna say this. One of the reasons this is true for whiteness is because you don't understand your own privilege. So I've talked about this before. When you see a black couple or a Hispanic couple or an Asian couple, a family at a restaurant, it could be a birthday. What are the kids they're doing? They're sitting with their fucking parents at the table. They may have a device, but they are sitting at the table, they're eating, they're paying attention. What are white kids doing? Running the fuck around like they own the damn place. Acting a damn ass. That's because of your white privilege, of this racist thing because you believe, you've been taught. I don't know if it's a handbook, I don't know what it is. It's subliminal messaging, but somewhere along the line, you have understood that you take up space and that you being in a space is more important than my being in a space. That is racist. And if you don't get the fuck out of my way when I'm walking down the street, I'm knocking into your ass. Because I'm no longer making myself small for whiteness. This is what people of color's parents have taught them. When you go out, don't make sure you take turns. Make sure you say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, please. These motherfuckers will jump in front of you at Starbucks. That latte is not that damn important. But you jump in front of my ass one more time, me and you we're gonna have a conversation. You cannot get louder than me. Not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be embarrassed because I don't care. What do I have to lose? Unless you call the police. Damn, that's your private security. We don't call the police because if we have an uncle we got an uncle who's drunk, right? We gonna sit his drunk ass in the room and say, shut the fuck up. If he started to be belligerent, shut your ass, because we're not gonna call the police because we don't know what will happen to him just because he's gotten drunk. We're gonna protect him, even though he's getting on all our fucking nerves and we wanna slap the shit out of him, but we're not gonna call the police on him. Because all it takes is him to say, well, he ain't gotta even say that shit nowadays, you just turn your fucking back and you get shot. So that's how we have learned that the police are not our friends. The police are, and I have a lot of police friends, police officers who are black, but this is a system that they belong to. I didn't even understand privilege until people start talking about this. It's so ingrained in us that we manage our own behavior so that whiteness doesn't have to. So it's about race if I say it's a damn about race. Don't tell me nothing else. That's what the fuck it's about. It's about race if it disproportionately or differently affects people of color. It's about race. And it's about race if it fits into a broader pattern of things that disproportionately affect people of color. So you can have a white young man who would get an AK-47, go into a school and shoot several people. He gets arrested, it's de-escalated. Not one of these individuals have been shot or killed. You get a black boy who's running away from the fucking cops because he knows what that is, and he gets shot in the back. You couldn't de-escalate that? This motherfucker just killed all these people with not even an automatic weapon, but you find ways to de-escalate that. But all these unarmed young people who don't trust you and are scared and are running, I don't care if they selling crack or whatever, you couldn't de-escalate that? Crack, automatic machine gun. I think unless he's sticking that damn pipe in my mouth and lighting it, I ain't got no reason to fear that person. But we haven't figured a way how to de-escalate that. That's because people of color are subhuman to you. And you don't want to admit this. This is where it's racist, because in your minds, we're less than what you are. And this is how you treat us every single day. That's why somebody can get called for barbecuing in a place that they barbecue all the time. That's why you can call the girl selling water on a hot date. What little enterprising kid ain't never did that shit? And you want to hide in the corner. Oh no, for the first time, whiteness is not the only one with the mic. We have, as long as my internet work and my phone work, I got this, we are shining. And people are like, oh, that's been happening for years. This has been our existence. For the first time, as I said before, whiteness is eating on itself, it's parasitic, and now you're having to experience some of the things that we're having to experience, but what's the problem? Why you're so anxious is because you don't have the coping mechanisms that we've been taught to develop as young people of color walking around and being safe in this world. You don't have any of that. This is your first time ever being ooh, ow, ow. And we were just like, all right, bring it on. What's the next one? What's the next one? Because as long as I can walk away from it, I'm good. I'm a little broken inside. It chips away like your brain. It chips away at you every single time. But you know what? Black women are the moral compass of this country, and we're gonna keep coming back. That's the very reason y'all keep relying on us. But for the first time, we don't give a shit about your issues. And that's the problem, because you cannot align with us. We're like, no, we got our own shit to think about. I got my own platform to talk about. I have my own things to talk about. And this is one of the reasons that I am so focused on the trans community, because I recognize that even as a black woman, there's a group that's below me. There's a group that is being slaughtered right now. There is a serial killer in Jacksonville, Florida, who's killing black trans women right now. That's heartbreaking. So they're not seen as women. They're not seen as valued as anything. People are slaughtering them. So I'm doing #CauseAScene is focusing on just me right now, just educating myself as much as I can about the issues, because even the LGBT, I can take out the T, because they don't even want, even the gay and lesbian community is discriminating against them. So they don't even have community in the community they should have community in. When you talk about isolation and being alone, you're a target. Just because you choose to show up as yourself every single day, that shit's unacceptable. And until whiteness gets off its ass and starts working towards this shit, I'm gonna keep fucking causing a scene. How to get involved? This conference, I have a podcast that I publish every Wednesday, and it's very uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. And I'm doing #CauseAScene Alliance. And the alliance is, I can't scale me. So, and I'm not doing this shit for free anymore. And white people who are interested in this, and I'm gonna be honest, my target market are not other marginalized individuals. It is white people, particularly ages 18 to 34, because you're the bottleneck, you're in the fucking way. So my job, my goal is to help you develop, I call the alliance, the lynda.com of social justice education, where I am creating content specifically for this group, bringing in guest lecturers specifically for this group, so we can have conversations about these issues so that we can start moving together to make a change. Because I don't even want to call it the alt-right or all this, because it's all these other groups, but all these other groups are coordinated. They're making coordinated efforts. We're not, because this is all so new. We're all making this shit up as we go. We're trying to create a United States system that was never intended to exist. Black people were not in the Constitution. It did not include us. So that meant it didn't include Hispanics, it didn't include Asians, it didn't include everybody that was not white. So all of us who are trying to say, hey, I want a piece of this, it was never meant for us. We're all creating this together. And we have to move together, because this shotgun approach is not working. It's burning people out. We need to move with laser focus, with strategy, so that we can move. And when we talked about this at lunch, it's moving quicker. It's moving quicker. The change, I just started #CauseAScene whenever International Women's Day was in March. And look at where I am now. It's happening quicker. And I'm not the only one who's out here talking. We need to be getting together and moving this forward. And I understand that white people, this is new to you. So again, I can empathize, but I don't sympathize. It's time for you to get off your asses and do the work that's necessary to help improve the experiences, and everybody feels included in all of this. Will it be hard? Hell yeah, it's gonna be hard. Will it happen overnight? No, there's no one-size-fits option for this. We're all gonna make mistakes, we're all gonna learn, and we're all gonna move forward. Right now, this is how you can help. Fun Club, Fun Better Tech has a campaign that ends I'm in California. I don't know when the hell time zone it ends, but I know it ends on Sunday. And this is your opportunity to donate to hashtag Cause a Scene. You can use that Twitter handle, and if you go to their Twitter page, all of those are mine, or theirs. Click that thing and you can donate $100. Because I should not be doing this work on my own for free. I'm not doing it anymore. I have been doing this work, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm selfish. It's all about me, but if I make gains for me, that means I can make gains for you, and you owe me. And I tell my followers all the time, all caps, privilege, you're not doing enough. When I see something, I don't need followers, I don't need allies. I need you to get off your asses and get the fucking work done. Thank you.